एडमिशन सीरीज 2020।
नमस्कार, मैं हूं अरुण पटेल और आप सुन रहे हैं अपना रेडियो 96.9 एफएम और ये है हमारी
एडमिशन सीरीज 2020।
Good evening friends, I am Arun Patel and you are listening Apna Radio 96.9 FM. In this edition of the Admission Series 2020, we are going to visit the Delhi campus of Indian Institute of Mass Communication. And there we will meet Professor Anubhuti Yadav, the head of the Advertising and Public Relations Department. We will talk about the course, seats, scholarship and placements or internships. So let's go and meet Professor Anubhuti Yadav. First of all, welcome to join us in our program.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on your program.
So, ma'am, first of all, it's not a question, it's a request. So, will you please introduce yourself to our listeners?
I'm Professor Anubhuti Yadav. I am Course Director of Advertising and Public Relations course. I'm also heading the Department of New Media here at IIMC. And I was Dean Student Welfare last year. And this year, I'll be handing over it to one other faculty member.
Wow. So, would you like to describe us the kind of design you have in the course?
Yeah, see, Advertising and Public Relations course is a course which is in demand, and there are a lot of applications which we receive for this particular course. The reason is one, that the course structure, which means that we introduce our students to various concepts related to marketing, advertising, public relations, corporate communications, government communication. So there are a number of topics which we deal with. Our major focus is on advertising and public relations, but we know that advertising and public relations, they are part of marketing. So we in the first semester we start with marketing, and then we take our students to different branches of advertising and public relations. So when it comes to advertising, there are different departments in advertising agency. So we talk about account management, we talk about creativity, campaign planning, media planning. So all these are part of our curriculum. This course is mainly anchored by internal faculty members as well as guest faculty. So we get best of the guest faculty members from the industry, from ad agency, from PR agencies, and we've been getting very good feedback. And just because we invite so many experts from the industry, our students, they get this opportunity to work on live campaigns. So while they are studying the course, while they are attending the course, at the same time they are involved in number of projects which are given to them by the industry experts. So the broad structure is, the first semester is mainly on concepts, because we feel that there has to be a conceptual clarity. So we start with a paper on communication, which we feel is the foundation for all the communication related courses, and then we take them through marketing, consumer behavior. So mostly in the first semester it's like more of a concepts and principles related to this particular subject. But when it comes to second semester, it's more of a hands-on. The entire semester is based on practicals, which means the students who are doing course in advertising and public relations, when they go and join the industry, they have to work on campaign. And that's a very important part of our curriculum. In the second semester, they work on a campaign, and we ask them to work on live campaigns. So it's not something fictional. They actually get a briefing from the client, and then based on that briefing, they work on the campaign, and that campaign is being judged by the people from the industry and as well as clients.
Wow, that sounds so rich design of any course. Ma'am, in this time, in the time of pandemic, what kind of change you're going to bring in the study pattern which will really serve the full this design to the student?
So this year we have decided to offer course in a blended mode. So the first semester will be totally online and the second semester will be on campus, and that too depends on the situation at that point of time. So when we are talking about online, it has its own advantages and it has its own disadvantages. Now the disadvantage is that definitely we'll miss meeting students in person. There's a lot which happens in a classroom. Students need to socialize with their peer group. So that is something which we are going to miss. But there are a lot of advantages also of online teaching and online learning, which means that till now were limited with the resources which we had in Delhi in terms of guest faculty members and all. But now since this is being offered online, I'm really very happy that I've been receiving a lot of requests from the industry experts who are there in Mumbai or like in other areas. So we can always rope in and they'll be part of teaching learning process. So that's the major advantage which we are going to have by offering this course in an online mode. Another advantage of online learning is that we will be providing a lot of resources to our students, because we do understand that there will be students who might not have that robust internet connection at their place. So in that case, we'll be creating a lot of resources which might not have happened otherwise. Otherwise it's only classroom teaching. So now we are planning to create a lot of resources in wide variety of form, which means audio, video, infographics. So they'll have access to number of resources. And then yes, advantages of online learning is that half of the day we are planning teaching in a synchronous mode and the rest half would be asynchronous. So the rest half will be given to students to work on their assignments, on activities. So this is something which they'll be working on. So broadly, the content will remain the same, but the packaging of the content will be different, keeping in view that we are going to offer this course in an online mode.
And now I'll ask you about the seats we have in our course and the kind of facilities we provide to the students who join the course.
So in advertising and public relations, we have 77 seats and it's very competitive. We receive large number of applications. I think the largest, out of all the batches here in advertising and public relations. But fortunately or unfortunately, both, we just have this course here in Delhi. So fortunately, I'm saying this thing because, when you offer this course here, you have access to best of the faculty members and, our entire attention is on one course. So unfortunate in the sense that at times I feel that the students who are there in the regional centers and who would like to do this particular course, they might not be able to do it. But yes, they do have a paper in advertising and public relations and the journalism course also. So the number of seats are 77, very competitive, lot of applications. Selecting those 77 out of thousands of applications which we receive is really a daunting task for us also as a faculty. But what we look in a candidate is one, that the candidate should have an aptitude for this particular field, for advertising and public relations. They have to be creative, they should be good at writing. So these are the things which we look at, and especially like when you are in a field of advertising and public relations, you have to be a very, very good communicator, and this is what we look in any prospect candidate for this particular course. This time definitely we are not having entrance exam, that means like the written exam is not there. So the online interviews which we are going to have, that will actually decide who's going to come for this particular course. So it's very competitive, getting admission in AD&PR out of so many who applies for this course. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. If you have an aptitude, if you're interested, then definitely you can make it.
After such a very difficult competition one goes through and then find this course, so what kind of placement and what kind of internships we provide?
See, just by looking at the number of applications we receive and the interest students have in this course shows that we do have good placement. Yes, this year it was a little difficult because of pandemic, but it's like for all other industry, there is a slowdown, and otherwise the placement have been excellent in advertising and public relations course. Our students are they get placement and they get jobs in best of the advertising agencies, best of the public relations agencies. And one very important reason for this is that it's not just after the end of the course they try and interact with the industry people. Those who recruit, they keep coming to the institute as part of our guest faculty. So our students, they have kind of connection with them, they kind of build rapport throughout the year, and then yes, at the end of the year we do have placement fortnight and all, so it becomes very easy for them. So the placement is very good for the advertising and public relations course. Internships, yes, which is a very important part of the course, because we feel that once they go through all the academic input in the course, it's very important for students to know what exactly happens in the industry. So this is something which we do at the end of the course. But for the advertising and public relations students, there is an advantage that even while they're doing their course, even in the first semester, they are actually involved in number of live projects, and many a time while they're working on live projects, they're also paid for that. So the placement is good, and definitely I think that's the reason why we get a maximum number of applications for AD&PR course.
As ma'am, 28th is the last day to apply for this course, and students look after the guidance during this interview round. So what do you seek in a student? What kind of suggestion you have for them?
See, the first and foremost is just don't apply because you think that you've got good marks, and just because of marks you'll through this particular course. Yes, you can, but at the end of it, what is the most important is your interest in this area. Definitely we would like to have students who have interest in this area, those who are actually reading about advertising field, public relations field, and we would like to groom those students rather than someone who are just taking admission just for the sake of it, or maybe for getting the IIMC's stamp, which in a way it's good, but the thing is, when we conduct a course, we are responsible for churning out good communicators who can contribute to the industry. So my suggestion, one is that before you apply, you need to know whether you have interest in this area or not. Second is, if you feel that you have an aptitude for this, of course your marks are very important, but you should also prepare for the online interview which we'll be organizing. And for online interview, there's only one or two things which we are going to look at. The questions will be different, but what we are expecting from that particular interview is, one, that the candidate should be in a position to show that he or she is genuinely interested in the course. And second is, because advertising and public relation course is a very creative course, so they should have that creative bent of mind. So they should come prepared, looking at these two major things, and the questions will be around these two major things. And we can ask any sort of questions to know whether they have right aptitude, and to know whether these students have that creative bent of mind or not,
and to know if they really deserve this seat.
Yes.
Thank you very much to join the program, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Listeners, today we met Professor Anubhuti Yadav, the head of Advertising and Public Relations Department. She shared the design of the course and described how it is perfectly designed course for the people who would be interested in the world of advertisements and public relations. I hope you liked the program, but in case if you have any comment or suggestion, then please drop your message in the comment box or write us in the message box of our Facebook page. And allow me to leave now with my producer Fiza Chaudhry. Goodbye, and keep listening Apna Radio 96.9 FM.
यही सपना जिंदगी में हर कोई समझे हम सफर मुझे अपना अपना बस अपना
अपना रेडियो 96.9 FM